Happy New Year, Northwest Arkansas. Hey, this is Coley Bailey with now the Lone Rock home team here at Fathom Realty. And as we ring in the new year, I hope 2023 is going to be a year that fulfills a lot of hopes and dreams for you, especially that dream home for a lot of you guys. And a lot of people had put their moving plans on hold in 2022. So you might be wondering what's in store for our market in 2023. Well, let's take a look back at last year and come up to the current state of the real estate market. Last year was a roller coaster ride that forced a lot of buyers and sellers to the sideline, unfortunately. The big story last year was the interplay between inflation and interest rates. Of course, real estate is typically a great hedge against inflation, so usually it rises in an inflationary environment, but most homeowners also take on a mortgage to afford the purchase, so higher interest rates can hurt demand, which also suppresses prices. So those two factors are always kind of fighting each other in the real estate market. And coming into 2022, we had 2 years of meteoric price increases in our area, especially due to lack of supply and the rock bottom interest rates that were available at that time. So it just spurred an abnormally large demand. So we had a huge pool of buyers that were just fighting with each other over every house. And so we came into 2022 with real estate prices already at really elevated levels. And we got there because throughout the pandemic years, the Federal Reserve had unleashed a flood of money into our economy to spur growth. But in 2022, the Fed decided to get tough on inflation, and it started to increase those interest rates. And consumers were dealing with the highest price inflation in 40 years. So all household items, groceries, gas, energy, all those prices were getting really high. And this has been stretching household budgets to uncomfortable levels, which actually is causing many people to put necessities on credit. So savings levels fell in 2022 and debt levels rose. And to make matters worse, those higher interest rates have made credit card debt even more of a burden. And any new purchases that people are making with financing is requiring very high payments. However, our home prices surged in 2022, especially in the first part of 2022, all the way up to $413,000 as an average home sale price in June of 2022 right here. Now, those interest rates continued to climb through the summer and the fall. That actually caused our buyer pool to shrink dramatically, and the sellers started to get a little bit scared, and they started to lower prices just to get a deal done, just to get some action on their properties and get it to a closing table. And so in July and August and September, those prices actually fell down to about 6.5% below this June peak. Now, a lot of people were thinking that prices could continue to fall further from there, but to many people's surprise, we actually kind of found a floor here. And in October and November and December, the prices started to creep back up. So we kind of bounced off of the bottoms and found our way back up. Now, the interesting thing about this, so we ended up the year with 400,357 as an average sale price here in Northwest Arkansas, and that is actually 12% higher than December of 2021. So we actually ended up the year 12% above last year's market. Now, as for inventory, we are sitting on slightly more inventory than we've seen the last couple of years. So every year there is a bottom in December. Typically, December is our lowest inventory month, and 2022's December is right there. So compared to the 2021 and 2020, we have just a little bit more, but we're still well below 2019, 2018, and what was 2017's numbers. So we're still in a low inventory environment. Now, on the other hand, because those interest rates have remained so high, we're also in a low buyer pool environment. So we have low inventory, but instead of having the frenzy like we had, in the last couple of years where you had 10 buyers for every house, now you might have 1 or 2 buyers for every house. But the thing is, the houses are still finding buyers even at these elevated prices. So the market is actually really balanced right now. It's more balanced than it has been in several years. And if we look at the average price per square foot for homes across Northwest Arkansas right now, in Benton County, we were at $190 a square foot, $193 in Washington County. And in the cities of Bentonville and Fayetteville, Bentonville was $217, Fayetteville was $205. Now look, there is a strong possibility that broader economic forces are going to worsen going into 2023. Many companies across the country have lost value in their stock prices. Corporate debt is harder to take on due to the higher borrowing costs, and unemployment might be on the rise. But here in Northwest Arkansas, we tend to fare pretty well, even in tough economic conditions, because our local industries actually provide a lot of the staple goods that keep the country running. We provide a lot of the consumer products, the groceries, and the transport that's needed to keep the country functioning. Plus, we're also, our real estate market is also still getting a boost from people selling homes on the coast, on the East Coast, or, on the West Coast in California or something. They're selling at a very high price there, and they're bringing cash here to buy homes here. Now, cash buyers don't really care what the interest rates are. And so a lot of the price support that we're finding in our market is coming because of high cash or high equity buyers. So will the Federal Reserve finally get a handle on inflation? Will interest rates be allowed to fall? I don't know. Only time will tell. But for now, the Northwest Arkansas real estate market seems to be holding up pretty well. And it's a very resilient market. So right now, I'm seeing a big window of opportunity, especially for sellers, since we've had these prices actually stabilize at this higher level. If you've been thinking about selling, now might be a really good time to put your plans in place and cash out on that equity. If that's something that's interesting to you, I want you to watch my pre-listing Price Accelerator video. This is what all my clients look at right before we put the house on the market. It helps you get your pricing correct, your presentation of the property, and what we're going to do for the promotion of the property. It lets you know that whole package so that we can go out into the market and get the highest price that the market will bear. And for buyers, the big opportunity right now is getting a home without the competition from all the other buyers. So because the higher interest rates had scared some people away, you're not having to deal with all of the bidding wars and all the craziness that we've had over the last couple of years. Now, interest rates are supposed to be falling through 2023 according to many analysts. If that happens, I think we have a huge amount of pent-up demand. There are a lot of buyers that have been sitting on the sidelines that are ready to jump back in, and when those interest rates fall, I think they're going to rush back into the market. When that happens, if it gets super competitive again, what's going to happen to prices? They're going to continue to go up. So right now, before those prices go up too much higher, you can jump in and actually get a great property right now without all of the competition. That's my recommendation. If the interest rates are a problem for you right now, you might consider doing something like a 2-1 buy down. This is something that a lot of our lender partners can help with, and it's becoming really popular right now, where the first year of your mortgage, you get 2% off of the interest rate. Okay, then the second year, it's 1% lower. And then in the third year, it's up to the actual interest rate for your mortgage that is set at the beginning. A lot of people are doing this with the idea that over the next couple of years, if interest rates come back down, they will refinance at that time into a lower rate. But in the meantime, the rate is at a comfortable level. I do want to caution you, though. I want to make sure that if the final rate isn't comfortable for you, I don't recommend this product for you. I want you to think, 3 years from now, am I going to be comfortable making that payment if interest rates for some reason stay the same or go up? Those are possibilities. A lot of people don't think that far in advance, but I want you, my smart Northwest Arkansas home buyers, to think like that. I want you to be safe in any transaction that you're going into. Okay, that's all I've got for you today on our monthly market update, this January 2023 update, and I hope it's a wonderful year for you. If you're interested in putting your house in the market and cashing out on that equity, or if you're thinking about buying a home and you want to take a look at some different mortgage programs, I can put you in touch with the right professionals. Just leave me a message below. I'd be happy to help. Other than that, thanks for watching. Let's go make some dreams come true this year.